So the Boston Celtics yesterday made a trade to upgrade the center position by moving off Anthony Simons for Nikola Vučević. Now, there are fans out there who are not happy with this move because of his defensive liabilities. Understandably so. But the reality is, when it comes to the situation with Simons, he was going to be a free agent this offseason. And I guarantee you this, Boston was not going to overpay for Simons. And if you had let him play out his contract and got nothing for him, then you still have a hole at the center position to fill. And yes, you have Tatum coming back, but also consider the logjam of guards and forwards you have right now. You have Jordan Walls, you have Hugo Gonzalez, you have Sam Hauser. You're going to have Tatum when he returns. You've got Pritchard, White, and Jaylen Brown. So when Tatum returns, the usage rate for Simons was going to drop off. You're going to have to move Peyton Pritchard back to the bench because he's better as that six man. So people say, oh, they don't have a bench, yada, yada, yada. Pritchard will fill that role again. On top of that, Boston still needs a point of attack defender at the guard position. That's one of their weak spots. Derek White is a good help defender. So bringing in Vučević, I think this is a solid pickup, in my opinion, because, again, he can knock down three-point shots. He's shooting 37.6% from three, 50% from the field, and he's still averaging 9 rebounds a night. And he's also durable. He doesn't get hurt. You brought in Kristaps Porzingis, and he did a great job in his role at Boston, but he had a lot of injuries. And also, Vučević, worst-case scenario, if it doesn't work out, he's a free agent next year. On top of that, your core pieces – when it comes to the leadership of this team is going to be Tatum, Brown, and White. Those are the guys that are going to lead the charge in the future. You had your Al Horfords and Drew Holidays of the world who were more of those leaders because they were older in age, but now Tatum, Brown, and White will take those steps, I believe, and move forward with the roster. They still have to make another move. And secondly, Jason Tatum, it's going to take him probably 6 months to get back into basketball shape because of the Achilles injury. So if we think that the Celtics are going to be automatic championship contenders starting next year, you might want to temper those expectations. I'm not saying they're going to be a bad team. I'm not saying they're not going to be at the top of the Eastern Conference. But the reality is it could take another season to add pieces. They save some money in tax dollars, so they cut costs there. You essentially flipped Drew Holiday for Nikola Vučević. And if he doesn't work out in Boston, he walks next offseason. And guess what? Brad Stevens goes into the offseason and he adds the necessary pieces to build up a championship contender. On top of that, you still need another point guard who can play defense on this team, somebody who can lock down someone else's best player at the guard position. So Brad Stevens isn't done yet. I don't think they're going to make another impact move. It's probably going to be something for saving money. But in the offseason, it gives Brad time to evaluate the roster and add more to this team. And you get Tatum back. Again, he's going to need some time to get basketball reps in. So if he looks rusty or if he looks slow out there or not himself, that's because he's trying to get confidence on the Achilles. So we just have to remember this is a process and nothing's going to happen overnight. If you had let Simons walk for nothing, then you have Keita, which has been fantastic. Again, Keita is going to play about 24, 25 minutes. He still should start. Vučević can come off the bench, give you 20 minutes and score. And he's also a good player at trailing three. So when Jaylen Brown's in semi-transition, Vučević is trailing on the play, you get a nice three-point shot. Also, you have more spacing out there. And he's an upgrade to Luka Garza. And Garza's been solid in his role. He's knocked down some threes. He's a good offensive rebounder, but he's not a great rim protector. So Keita fills that role. And like I said, if Nikola doesn't work out, you let him walk next season and you go get your rim protector. So for now, it's not a bad move because you're saving money and you're seeing what happens here with Vučević. If it's a good fit, awesome. If not, you find somebody else. Because remember, I don't think they're going to be winning a championship this year or next year because of just how long it's going to take Tatum to get back to his best version of himself. Achilles injuries take time to recover and to feel confident in. If they surprise me, awesome. I'm not going to be mad about that as a Celtics fan, but I'm just looking at it from a realistic point of view. It's a good pickup in terms of you got somebody, you still have a draft pick, and you can still develop a guy like Williams. He's looked really good in his minutes that he's played, small sample size, but if he gets better, maybe you let Vooch walk next offseason, then you save more money. and then you go get your impact big men. So Brad's got this figured out. I'm not concerned at all. I think it's a win-win because if it works out, great. You sign him on a cheaper deal. Also, I want to mention that too. You got to pay Brown, White, and Tatum. That's going to be the bulk of your money in the next few seasons. So if you're trying to get a premium big man, it's going to cost you money, which means you got to move off Derek White. Can't keep him because you got to match salaries. So I think Boston's looking at the situation from the perspective of we want to get a center, but we got to live within the means of what we can afford. So Vooch fit that situation, and he's a free agent next year. If we bring him back, it's going to be on a cheaper deal. And you just keep going from there, and you go get your point of attack defender at the guard position, and you move Pritchard back to the bench. So I think it's a great move. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I want to hear your thoughts about this trade for Vučević for Simons. Do you like it or not like it? Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you on the next one.